Thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure. My name is Mikael Jensen. I'm born in Denmark. I live approximately half of the time in Spain and the rest in Denmark. I have a career within advertising. I won 40 international creative prizes, but my heart has always belonged to art. The reason for that is that when I was 31 years old, I had 2 heart attacks and a heart stop, and that makes me very anxious. So I had to find out how could I get rid of the anxiety. And one of the ways that was possible was actually to go into a therapy with a Jungian psychologist. This guy, he helped me, and later he became my friend. Jungian psychology is about making or finding the one you really are. So it's making you a whole person. That went very well together with the therapy based on some thinking of Søren Kierkegaard, who is a Danish philosopher. He says that anxiety is unlived life. So what I had to do is I had to find out, what didn't I do in life? What was I missing? In order to do that, I had to I had to experience what life is all about. So I started one place. I started finding out, what is a good man? I couldn't find any literature. So what did I do? I tried to do the opposite and saying, what is a good woman? What is the kind of woman that I want to be up against? What is the kind of woman that can sort of make me whole, or the one that I really am? Then I went through a lot of other stuff, like the rebirth of love. How does that look like today? How do you actually rethink what love is about? One other thing is I made a series called Possible Keys to Happiness, and that was because I wanted to find out, how could you get that thrill, that goes down your spine every once in a while? That feeling of happiness. How do you get that? And I did a series of paintings about that. And recently I did one which is about connections between 2 persons. It is in a way fun to think that your friends is actually the one that makes you a whole person. So you are one, and your friend is somebody who actually covers the things that you are not yourself. So that is worth thinking about. So actually I started to analyze what is actually the person who's your friend. What does that actually mean? And I made a series of paintings about that. That could also be the connection between a man and a wife. Often, at least in Danish, you can say your wife is your better half. Why is she the better half? Why are you the better half of her life? How do you actually connect? What is complementary here? Does that mean that you are the same? The wife and you are the same kind of persons, or that you are complementary, meaning that you are very different from her and she's very different from you, but together you make a greater circle. Those are things that I've been surveying in my art. And I've been looking forward to it all day, to meet people in Germany, and especially the customers at Pashmin Art, to hear what they're saying, also to get some reactions back on my work as seen from a German point of view. I've exhibited in many countries, but never before in Germany. So this is my first, and I'm really pleased to be here. I've been to the exhibition in China where I was selected, and I was very proud of that. That was in Beijing, and now we are looking upon the next one in Chongqing, which I really look forward to. I think it's very interesting for me, and it's also I think it is actually involves me, because I somehow get to think about other kinds of people from other parts of the world. And since I work in archetypes, it is easy for me to sort of to translate from Danish to German to Chinese to what have you, South American languages. It is because if you say, for instance, he was a good father, that means about the same in Denmark, in Germany, in Greenland, in Australia, in China. A good father is somebody who has a love for his kid and tries to raise the kid so he becomes a good man. So that is the same. So the same thing is the life, the tree of life, for instance. That is the same. I mean, if you go down to the down south in Southeast Asia or in Africa, it is the palm tree. Up here, it is in northern Europe and Scandinavia, it's the oak tree. So, but still, it is a tree, and that is the tree of life. So you can use all these symbols going across all sorts of cultures. So archetypes is actually the common language of all people all over the world.